I kind of went over the things that I wanted to talk about, one being the making sure that our committees and commissions are properly constituted and that they have the information available to them as far as what the applicable state laws and rules are. And we're going to do that. We're going to make sure, hopefully by January, we have everybody on board and all of our committees and commissions are appropriately constituted. And the changes, it's always good to be able to give out money, and the problem with that is that sometimes you don't have enough money to give out, so we have to have some kind of rules, and I know it's going to take some getting used to as far as the way we're doing contributions now, but I think it probably is a lot better way of doing it. It's a lot easier to track as far as how much money you're going to have available and what's left over if things come up and things of that nature, so I hope the public and those working in the courthouse will bear with us as we try to make these changes. The payroll changes that we talked about before, I think need to be implemented, and we'll try to do that as soon as we legally can possibly do that. And so we have good accounting procedures that we're following in as far as handling payroll and things of that nature. We are still looking into comp time and things of that nature. We still don't have a resolution of that, but I would hope that we could get someone in here to provide a resolution for that. I want to thank Mr. Matthews and I want to thank Ruby Thomas for the work we're doing on trying to get the cell tower over in the area on the other side of the county. We're still looking for service up on our end in Hearts also, and anything any of you all can do to help us with that, we'd appreciate that. I want to thank Jackie again for coming. I think I've known her since, I guess, she's forever, and she's always had the best interests of the kids in mind. She's always had the best interests of what's right, and what's right is we do need to know our Constitution. We need to respect those things it says in there, and we need to teach our kids and members of our legislature and the members of Congress exactly what that document means and as far as what it says and what it's there for. But that's all I have.
All right. One thing that I'd like to comment on is the pay raises for the deputies. I know that we've been kicking that around for a while, and I'm glad that we were able to put that on the agenda for October. I think 10% is a good increase, and I also like the idea that we could possibly, after subsidies, to be able to provide premiums for our courthouse employees. I think that is very, very important. We don't have the highest paid employees, and it's nice. It would be nice to be able to provide health care for our employees. I know that we don't do that right now. We just pay the $150. But anyway, I'd like to make sure that we try to follow through with that this year. Okay. One thing that I do know that I've been working on and is that the farmers market in Allen Creek, I think the deed has been signed. It's been signed over to the Lincoln County Economic Development Authority. Okay. So that's kind of taken off. One of the things I want to comment on is the cell tower service in Yawkey. In order for us to, across the county, if we're going to apply for the wireless assistance grant, one of the things that we have to do is we have to make sure that the Lincoln County Commission approves, what these carriers want us to, so that we can get the tower constructed, and with the different things that we have to do with that. And I appreciate Doc Vance, the commission, helping out with that. One thing I do want to say is that I've also talked to some companies that erect towers, and they have actually been looking at sites in Sweetland and Hearts to locate towers. So that's kind of the news, the upfront news, the stuff that's going on right now. I think that we're really close to getting the tower in Yawkey, and I think that we're close. I think that if we just keep moving forward, especially with some of the news that I received about putting towers in Sweetland and putting towers in Hearts Creek, I think that if we could just keep the pressure on and we can keep moving for this, I think that we can get this. I think that we'll be able to have service throughout our county. So that's kind of what I've been dealing with, and I actually spoke with a guy named Chris Sandbar yesterday and a lady named Jennifer Van River from AT&T, and they're moving forward. They're talking to their radio people, radio frequency people, and we're actively going through this. So it's it seems like it's been a long time. I mean, you know, we've been working on this since the beginning of the year, and it's just been, you know, it's almost every day. You're talking to somebody every day. One other thing that I was asked at the beginning of the year by Versi Sims to look into some things for the from the Lincoln PSD, and I have, and I feel like that there's some questions that need to be answered. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand off some of those documents that I have to the board members at the Lincoln PSD, and I'm going to ask them to answer the questions that I have. And I'm going to provide them with the documents that I have, and I'm going to let them filter through that, because they are the board members and they can get those questions addressed. One other thing that I think that we need to address, I know I talked to Versi the other day on the phone, and I know she didn't make it here for public comment, so I'm going to comment for her. I think there was discussion about maybe American Water asking for a rate increase, and the question that I have is because we are going to be American Water is actually going to be providing water to the Alcohol-Bolger area. I think it's important that we ask if that rate increase is going to affect those customers, and we need to. And I'm going to talk to the PSD. I'm going to talk to the board members to make sure that they consult with the manager and consult with American Water, and get back with us to see if that's going to affect those customers. I don't know.
Let's put that on the agenda next time, to send them a letter asking them particularly, you know, how would it affect these people and things of that nature.
Okay.
That way we can also have on the agenda to send a letter to the PSD board asking them to report back to us on any inconsistencies or questions you might have found.
Okay, that sounds good. But I have to get that material to them, and I haven't done that yet. I have it, it's in my car.
Can I provide you with these documents?
Yes. Bring them up.
There was action on the Public Service Commission in early September, and it's case number 131356, and they have applied for an amendment to the West Virginia Service Water Agreement. And in that, if I understand, if we don't intervene before the 30 days before that's approved, it's either put up or shut off. I mean, after it's approved, then there's nothing. So you're welcome to these. It's just the following events that I have pulled on the case number 13.
Let's do what we can do. Maybe we can save these people a little bit of money. What do you think?
Well, I think that, now I was at the PSD meeting, and Mike is under the impression that there is going to be no increase and it has no effect. And he could not provide me with the amendment, but he did say that he believed the amendment was that Route 3 would be provided the same rate that West Virginia Water is charging the PSD.
So that's the contract. They're going to,
That's right.
it's a
So
binding
the rates would-
contract, and it's going to be the same.
The rates would be the same as everybody else that would be.
Because that's what they put forth.
Thank you, Versi. Thank you.
But I don't have anything else.
All right, if nothing else, I entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting of the commission till October the 17th at 10 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
6 p.m. That's right. All right.
I move that we adjourn.
All right, I'll second that.